Hey everyone, it's Joe from Walk with God. And as we practice social distancing and general hand washing like we've never practiced before, I want to talk a little bit about how we as Christians should respond to this coronavirus. I have to confess, like most people at first, I was pretty dismissive of it, and it's become a much bigger problem than I thought it would. And now we're here. So many people have talked about it, and I am jumping on the bandwagon. I think I'm overall pretty happy with the church's response to this as a whole. At least within the church community, I really love some of the memes that have been spread, and I'll even put up a screenshot. This is a text conversation that I had with a friend where he pointed out a verse of the day this last Thursday, and I just thought it was so funny I had to share it. But as much as I think the church is responding well to the members, I think what we really need to do is take advantage of this time and respond well with the whole world. So I've got a small list of do's and don'ts that I think will kind of help us in our response. First up, do have a sense of humor. Yeah, I shared that pic earlier. This is a screen cap of a post from a pastor of a megachurch that I went to down in Orange County many years back now, and I still follow him on social media, and I'm so glad because I thought this was just hilarious. But what we should not do is we should not complain. I get it. I don't like not being able to physically go to the gym or, do any of the other things that I like to be able to do without limit. I'm used to washing my hands this much at work as a healthcare provider, but having to do it in my daily life is a bit much. 1 Corinthians 10:10, Paul points out that those who complained were actually destroyed. Philippians 2:14, do all things without grumbling or questioning. Do, on the other hand, be sensible. God recently pointed this out to me because in our church reading plan, we just finished Acts, and near the end of Acts in chapter 27, Paul basically says while they're in the midst of this storm, that contrary to what he thought earlier, God's going to get them out okay, but they still have to do the sensible thing and run ashore. Which I think is a pretty strong metaphor for where we're at right now, because we are in many ways in a storm. And I believe that we're going to go through this okay, but we still need to do the sensible things. Which leads perfectly into the next one. Do not be dismissive of the precaution. Just because you don't have symptoms doesn't mean you're not carrying the virus and that someone else who is vulnerable potentially, like an older person, could get it from you. Yeah, I'm not crazy about social distancing and cleaning things all the time, but it is helpful for others. Which leads to the next one. Do put others first. Think of Philippians 2:3. Philippians 2:3 says, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Which leads very well into the next do. Do listen what's happening at a local level and obey your county or state's whatever ordinances on gatherings. This is not fun for churches right now. But think of Titus 3:1, where we are told to be submissive to leaders and authorities. This comes up in Romans 15 too. We are to be known as good citizens, and this is our time to shine, fellow Christians. Leads again very well into the next one. Do not give in to the hysteria. You've read the end of the Bible, you know how the story ends, and you know that there's no coronavirus. Plus, as Paul says in Philippians 1:21, to live is Christ, to die is gain. What we should try instead to do is to serve in areas of need for the people that we know. Yeah, we may have to go out of our comfort zone and actually talk with our neighbors, but could be really worth it. People seem to be more receptive than normal to God. Another do try to make the most of this time. I have a good friend from church yesterday who was talking about this missionary friend that he knows, it's a friend of a friend in China, who, has just been really trying to be grateful. She realized she's been spending more time with her family and that they haven't been getting stir crazy, but they've been growing closer. And she's actually been able to hear birds in China for the first time because there's just so little traffic for once. So I would encourage you to look for things to be grateful for. Okay, last do not completely isolate yourself. Let your light shine. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. That's Matthew 5, verses 14 to 16, which I think is super relevant right now. Okay, last do pray. Pray that this will end. Pray for the people who are working in healthcare directly with patients who have this virus. Pray for grocery store clerks who are being exposed to this all the time and other people in similar positions. Pray for yourself and for your neighbors, knowing that God's going to get us through this. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, even though I know you're probably sick of coronavirus videos by now. If you have not followed me on Anchor or Spotify or anything like that, please do so. Walk with God is on there. You can also check out my social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a blessed day or a blessed night. And please, please, please be safe and be loving.